Welcome, my name is Nick and this is Nick's Fort, and today I am in LA and I'm about to go meet up with a bunch of other YouTubers, and I'm gonna ask all of them the same question. I wanna know what their most valuable filmmaking gear investment has been ever. And then at the end, I'll share mine. If you are new here, I do filmmaking tutorials and I help people like you become successful freelance creators and make a career out of this. So if you dig that, you can subscribe below. But for now, let's battle this LA traffic and go meet up with these other awesome creators. We are down here in the tunnel where they filmed The Dark Knight, the Batman movie. It's super dope. The lights shooting down from above. We filmed a bunch of cool B-roll here. We're shooting with a model. Super fun.
Any sort of camera body that you can use for photo or video would be like the best content creating tool, obviously, because if it wasn't for the body, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. But it technically doesn't matter what it is, like what brand you go with, as long as you have the ability to create something with it that's relatively clean.
C200 hands down, and the biggest reason is because everything is included in that camera. For example, it has built-in ND filters, so I don't have to worry about bringing ND filters with me. It has built-in XLR input. It has one of the best autofocus systems, which is Canon's dual pixel autofocus, and that for me, when I shoot by myself, just always comes in clutch. It's a huge time saver. So if I had to do it again today, even though the camera is 2 years old, I would get the C200 right now.
So the gear that I would say helped me the most and changed the way I shot the most would be getting proper ND filters, whether that's for my main camera or it's for my drone or GoPro or whatever, it doesn't matter. They make ND filters for all of that stuff. Basically, why is because you want proper motion blur. So if I'm waving my hand like this, you're gonna get a particular amount of motion blur depending on your frames per second that you wanna shoot at. So if you're shooting at 24 frames per second, you want your shutter to be at 50. If you don't have ND, sometimes you have to jack up your shutter, makes your motion blur look whack. It's just not a good thing. So ND, I highly suggest.
We are in Venice Beach now, switching up the scenery. Gonna film some more content here and also keep going with the tips. I think we have two more guys that are gonna weigh in on their most critical filmmaking piece of gear that they've ever invested in. And then I'll share mine at the end.
I think the first camera I ever got. The reason being is like everyone gets camera crazy and wants the next best camera to shoot, but in all honesty, the best camera is the one that's in your hand. And as soon as I got that camera, I fell in love with my passion of videography, and it allowed me to craft this empire, I guess you could call it, of what it is today, and allowed me to explore my creativity, because with that camera, it built and it was the foundation of everything. So the moral of the story is grab a camera, whether it's your cell phone, and try it out, because that will change your life.
I mean, a camera. to be honest. Yeah, everyone can shoot on their iPhones or whatever, but using a mirrorless camera or a DSLR camera allows you to use different lenses. It allows you to play around with different things like depth of field, aperture, shutter speed to get you more of that filmic look. So I would say get a camera, and I mean, once you're ready for it, invest maybe $1,000 into a decent camera, mirrorless. It could be APS-C sensors or it could be full frame, but I think a good camera is probably the best investment you can get.
So Josh Yo from Make Art Now just showed up, and he brought along a crazy remote control device from DJI that has a Osmo camera on it, and it's super funky and weird, but it's super fun. Yo, Josh, yo. So the best investment that I've made, at least in terms of like camera tech, is actually the least favorite camera that I have. I don't know if you guys are familiar with my channel, but I shoot a lot. I shoot with a lot of different cameras: Sony, Blackmagic, Canon. And to be honest with you, Canon C300 Mark II has always been a camera that I'm not really that interested in shooting with. It's big, it's bulky, it's expensive, but in terms of investment, it's definitely made me the most money back, and it's kept me doing all my creative stuff. That's my dad. Don't mind that guy. It's kept me doing all my creative stuff. So, you know, in the end of the day, you gotta pick a camera that's gonna get you work. That camera, time and time again, gets me work. For me, the best investment that I've made in my filmmaking career is a Pelican case. And the reason is I'm only gonna have to buy one in my lifetime. They last forever, they're super badass. I use it all the time. I use it more than I use any camera I've ever used. I use it when I'm traveling not for work, I use it traveling for work. And for the money I spent, the amount of use I get out of it is 100% fully insane. I don't have it with me right now, I just have this fabric bag, so that's not a good, it's not good, but I'll show it to you guys. I'll insert it now. I hope you guys have a chance to go check out everyone else's channel that I've been hanging out with. I've linked below to all those guys' channels, and I've also linked below to all the equipment that anyone specifically mentioned. If you do want to check that out, you can go check out those links. And if you think this is valuable, please share it with someone else. Share this with a friend, pass it along, drop a thumbs up, subscribe, notifications, comments, all that stuff. But most importantly, put this stuff into your practice, put this into your filmmaking daily life, and get out there and create some stuff. Have a good one. Peace. So here's a little bonus content for you keenly astute observers. I'm wearing a t-shirt that's yellow, and in other parts of the video it is a tank top. And if you notice that without seeing this part, kudos to you for being a keen observer. And the reason I did that was because when I originally filmed this, I was vlogging on my C200, which is a terrible idea. And in doing that, I only did one take on my intro, and that one take happened to be blurry and it sucked. So I actually ended up in LA again, and I'm using my Sony a7S II to redo the intro because I care about the quality and I want you guys to get that intro in a crisp, clean, focused manner. If you noticed, before me saying it right now, before explaining it, drop a comment below. Be honest, guys, be honest. And if you didn't, you still drop a comment and be like, damn, I could never be a script supervisor. And if you don't get that, Google it. nailed the scooter shot. Been looking for that since I got to LA.